The 365 Pro Wrestling.
365 Nation, Eddie Osborne here, and I am joined today by the one, the only, too magnificent Nicky Martin. How you doing, my man?
You missed me, didn't you?
Of course I do. I'm back in BC. You're in Ontario. No wrestling events, so I'm not coming out that way anytime soon. So this is a nice way to chat with you and also get some predictions for WrestleMania 36.
Looking forward to it. The only WrestleMania that is 2 nights. It's too big for one night.
Now that's pretty crazy to me, but I like the idea of it being 2 nights because usually it's just so long. It's a heck of a thing. So 2 days is cool to me. What are your thoughts on the whole no crowd?
You know what? I mean, they've been talking about doing some sort of pipe in of fans, and I think that would be distracting. I see a lot of the people and a lot of the superstars that are actually having issues. They're playing to a crowd that's not there, but I mean, that's how they were brought up, right? I mean, a lot of them don't come straight from the indies now. You got to remember they come from the Performance Center. So they're taught right from the get-go the WWE style of how to do things. And they, some of them don't have that luxury of going down the roads and different little towns and, the bingo halls and the legions and all that other stuff, right? So it's kind of expected. But no, as far as piping in the fan noise, I don't think that's really going to be a benefit. I did like having, different superstars on commentary, though, to add noise and their opinions. So I think they should stick with that, but that's just me. What's your thought on it?
It's crazy to me, especially being WrestleMania. I would love to see a crowd there enjoying it. It's such a huge international, worldwide event. And I love that you get that mixture of fans in there. Lenny Lilac suggested possibly somehow like streaming or somehow how the people could also be involved, like from their homes, like some way showing a screen of them or something. But however they do it, they're going to do it, and I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to be entertained.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disappointed. I am kind of interested in the fact that they're now talking about doing an off season after WrestleMania, so we'll have to see how that works. AEW has been kind of putting their stars in the crowd during matches, and that's been kind of interesting. Now, mind you, I haven't really watched a lot of AEW. I took a listen to Jim Cornette's podcast. You know how I love that. And he kind of went through a watch along of some sort of promo with an airplane and Matt Hardy and Chris Jericho, and he was really, really mad, and I didn't even have to worry about trying to, hear about what was going on. I just kind of looked at it, shook my head, and shut it off. So that was my opinion on what's going on as far as that goes. But and it's a shame because apparently the week prior was excellent. So I think it's just a matter of them trying to find their niche and kind of, stick with something as opposed to doing an excellent week and then having a mediocre kind of a WTF week, I guess you'd call it.
Sure, it's just something we're all used to. We wrestle for the fans, so when you can't see them, you can't hear them, you can't feed off them, it's definitely different. But let's jump into it, man. I'm not sure which matches or which night, but I have all the matches here listed, and I'd love to hear your picks, and I'll give my thoughts just for the heck of it, and we'll go through this one.
Sounds good. Let's go.
All right, so the first one is Otis versus Dolph Ziggler.
You know what? This whole storyline has kind of gotten me a little bit perplexed. I was kind of enjoying the whole Otis and Mandy Rose kind of dynamic. I think they were trying to play off on the whole nice guy may win, but they turned out to be nice guy finishes last again. So I highly expect for Otis to kick the living daylights out of Dolph, but I think Dolph is going to come away with a win, and I think Mandy's going to be instrumental in that.
I think she will indeed, but I believe Otis is going to get the big come up and see he wants to get that big W. So we were different on that one, but that's just my thoughts. We'll see. What about Elias versus King Corbin?
You know what? I might be in the minority. I may not. I actually enjoy King Corbin, but I've also Elias has grown on me because when I first saw him way back when he first debuted, it was kind of I don't really know what to make of this guy. It's well documented that I wasn't impressed, but he's kind of grown on me as well. I'm going to give the edge to Elias, surprisingly, on this one. I think he's going to come out on top.
See, I like Corbin as well. And Elias, I just think he just needs to switch into something new. He's been doing the same thing now for probably like 3 years, it feels like. And in this match, I'm going to go with Corbin.
Nice. Hey, we should put some bets on this. We're a little bit divided.
I was going to say, we could definitely see some winners and losers in ours. But now, the third match, Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. I think he's with Lana.
You know what? Aleister, I guess, has been pegged as what they would call a Heyman guy. He's one guy that's, Heyman's really high on and really wanting to push. My opinion of Lashley, he's stale. He needs something different. Even with Lana in the picture, he just comes across as a really intense, impressive physique, but he's really got no personality. And I think without a personality, and maybe this is just the managerial part of me, but without a personality, you can only go so far. I'm really hoping that Aleister is successful. I have a sinking feeling that I think Lashley's going to go over, but I'm really, really pulling for Aleister on this one.
So who do you pick?
I'm going to unfortunately go with Lashley on this one.
All right. Well, I thought Lashley was really impressive in Impact Wrestling. I thought he was doing really good. I thought the personality was there. So it does seem a little bit... he hasn't been as impressive on Raw, but I thought he really shined in Impact. And Aleister Black, I'd love to see him wrestle some guys like Claudio and Daniel Bryan in some real competitive matches. But I think he will win the match.
Did he have more of a... more time given to him on the mic when he was in Impact, Lashley?
Yeah, they had that huge feud going on, right? It was the whole top team and all that. They were doing their thing. So maybe nice. That was it. But they had a lot of time with the whole Rusev as well on the mic. Now, the third or fourth match I got written down here is the women's tag team match, Kabuki Warriors versus Bliss and Cross. Who you got?
I gotta go, honestly. I am a huge fan of both Alexa Bliss and Nicky Cross, so I'm gonna go with them. But again, I expect to see a lot of impressive things from the Kabuki Warriors as well. I can't see them not having a good showing.
No, I think it'd be a really good match. What do you think about Asuka doing all the commentary? It pops me.
I enjoy it. It's different. I mean, as far as her being loud and really, I think she just adds to the whole program. So I hope they keep her on commentary for a while.
For sure. Now I think I'm going to have to go with you as well. Alexa Bliss and Cross is who I got over. Now, we're going into the fifth match I got here written down. Raw Tag Team titles, Street Profits versus Theory and Garza. Who are you going with? Did the Street Profit guy go for the big dive, but Theory wasn't up yet and he just hit the ground?
You know what? Just a sidebar on that. I think that was just a miscue on the part of... I can never remember his name. Who's Montez Ford? There we go. I think that was just a miscue on his part. I think that he thought that either Rollins wasn't going to be there to grab his foot, and then I think he just thought he had to do something. So he apparently decided to dive on air. literally. And I'm not entirely sure what was going on with that. I think it was just the fault. I don't really think it was anybody's fault. I think it was just a matter of Ford thought, that Rollins maybe wasn't as athletic as Rollins actually is, and he just thought he had to do something because he kind of looked or overlooked the fact that he missed his cue.
Yeah, however it works, I mean, shit happens, right? It's wrestling. It's live. It's happening. So
no, well, I think it
happened.
I think in that particular case, I'm kind of glad the fans weren't there.
Man, well, who do you got in this match? Do you think we got new tag team champions in Theory and Garza? Do you think Street Profits retain?
You know what? I'm gonna go with the underdogs. I absolutely love Garza. And I'm not entirely sure why Theory is even there. Last I checked, he was with the other Andrade. Either Andrade's hurt or maybe he got suspended again. I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be a good match either way. But because of the fact that Garza's really, really impressed me with his gimmick and his overall ability, I think there's going to be some new champs, and I'm really, really, really not a fan of the Street Profits, so I guess maybe I'm a little bit biased in that regard, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm really hoping and pulling for Garza and Theory.
Awesome, man. Now, I think the Street Profits are really good. I think they're entertaining. I think they're connecting with the people, which is huge. But I'm hoping as well that Austin Theory and Garza win. I saw Theory in an Alpha 1 show. Me and Lenny were we were just watching this maybe 6 months ago, however long it was. And he just stood out as he looked great. And what a way to be WrestleMania, no fans, and possibly be a Raw Tag Team Champion. That'd be huge.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's kind of cool that you get to see them.
Yeah, it was really
I have a question for you.
Yep.
In a match that probably will not happen, but I'm just going to ask anyway, who do you think would win between the Street Profits and Private Party?
The fans.
I guess that's a fair answer.
That should be the answer to every single match.
Absolutely. Well, true. Very true.
Now, one match I think the fans will definitely love seeing just because of who they are. IC title match, Sami Zayn with Cesaro and Shinsuke versus Daniel Bryan, and I'm guessing Gulak will be out there as well.
For me, like when I first heard that this match was going to happen, that's what sold me on WrestleMania, because I wasn't really keen on the whole no fans idea at first, but as soon as they announced this match, I'm like, man, this is the match that's going to be like the match of the night. Whether Gulak is out there or not, I think that Bryan and Sami are going to be on. I think Sami is really, really underrated, and I think he's really good. And I think having Daniel out there is really going to elevate him. And I don't know if Gulak is going to play a role in it. I would assume that he would, but I only see that elevating the whole match entirely.
For sure. And I love Zayn as Generico. I thought it was really cool. And then it took a while in the Fed for me, but then when he turned heel, he's just turned on this. His promos are amazing. His in-ring work has never been nothing but excellent. So him and Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson would be awesome. I'm going to go with Bryan Danielson. Daniel Bryan? Who do you got?
No, I'm going to go with Sami retaining.
There we go. Now, so it continues with our mostly opposite picks on this one. Who do you have between Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins?
As funny as it is. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you check out the ROH. They released that match they had in ROH just before they both came to the Fed.
I saw that online. I haven't actually had a chance to watch it though, but I'm going to put it on my list to do.
Yeah, ROH has been releasing a lot of great stuff lately.
In regards to the match itself, though, I think both guys have really elevated the whole excitement for it with their promos. I think with Owens, a lot of it is kind of fed to him, because I remember back in ROH him saying something to one of the officials there, indicating that he really didn't want to go to WWE, but obviously that changed. With that being stated, I'm a bigger fan of Owens than I am of Rollins. And I think, honestly, Rollins is, I don't want to say he's stale, but I think he's kind of plateaued in what he's been doing. So I'm going to go with Owens on this one. And I'm really, really hoping that there's some sort of a change or, something to freshen up Seth.
Do you think after Seth Rollins beating Brock twice in a row, he's a made man, he's the champ. I know he's not champ right now, but he's been that main event guy for so long. So maybe this seems not as significant to you, or because I think it's pretty cool with this whole thing with AOP and what's his name? I got his name. Freaking
Murphy.
There we go, Buddy Murphy. I think they're a cool group, and it's definitely something that if he's not in the main event, this is cool for him to do something with that group and try and elevate them. And I really like what's going on between these guys. I'm also going with Kevin Owens, but is that why you think Seth Rollins is still?
I mean, right now, I understand what they're trying to do. Like, Rollins is trying to elevate both AOP and Murphy. And I think Murphy is leaps and bounds ahead of AOP as far as, becoming an upper tier kind of a superstar. But I think with Owens and Seth right now, like, the story is good, but I don't think those three necessarily have to be involved in it, if that makes sense.
No, that's fair. I think the match is going to be awesome with anybody involved or not involved. It's just going to be a really good match between two super talented wrestlers.
Fair. I mean, either way, like, when you look at this card as a whole, like, I'm super looking forward to the card. I'm just really kind of bummed that there's nobody there, to feed off of. I think that's going to play a role in it a little bit.
Now, AJ Styles versus The Undertaker. And is it a boneyard match?
Yeah, and they haven't really explained what exactly that is as yet. I'm hoping that they do that tonight.
Tonight on SmackDown.
But with that being stated, I think it's going to be a good match. I think the promos, to me, honestly, I don't think they have to get that real. They don't have to necessarily, AJ's using Undertaker's real name, and then Undertaker, awesome promo, by the way, Undertaker's last promo, but, like, he's using AJ's real name. I guess for the effect, it's kind of cool for the fans that, get a rise out of that type of thing, but for me, it's just kind of like, and I'm really hoping that Taker just kind of takes back and absolutely destroys him. I don't think that's going to happen because it's AJ, but that's my hope anyway.
You want to see the whole, Undertaker, what he did to John Cena how many years back?
No, well, that, and I'm also thinking, like, Superfly Jimmy Snuka from WrestleMania 7, a dissection and a end of the match, and that's it kind of thing.
All right, man. Well, I'm hoping it's a little bit more because I think these guys are definitely two of the greatest. AJ Styles is the man. Undertaker's been phenomenal for so long. I'm with you. I don't think you need to say their real names or anything. It's just a big matchup. It's going to be a huge matchup. Do you think people are going to get involved? I know they had the whole the club, and then Taker said something that made me think that maybe he had some people coming with him as well.
Yeah, I heard that, and I'm kind of sitting there thinking, and I'm like, who are you going to bring? Because honestly, there's only a couple of people that he could possibly, like, bring out to help him. So my thought was, okay, you've got a couple of options, right? AJ's got the club, and Taker's got either Kane or maybe the Ministry, maybe Shane McMahon and Midian. I don't know. I don't really see the point of doing that if they were to do that. But like, I don't really see anybody else that he could possibly bring. But he did mention 2 other people.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's Michelle McCool and Kane, because that's all I can think of.
Yeah, but Michelle McCool is really. Oh yeah, I never even thought of that.
Who knows?
If it's APA, that could be interesting.
It could be. I'm excited. And then we have our SmackDown Women's Championship. Fatal 5-Way, Bayley, Lacey, Tamina, Naomi, and Sasha Banks.
Honestly, I'm really hoping that Bayley retains. I think out of those competitors, the only one that can really kind of elevate the title even more would be Sasha. But to be fair, that's only because I've only seen Sasha with the title. But Bayley, honestly, I think is retain. But I think Sasha's going to either play a huge role in helping her win, or maybe she's going to trust her and they're going to go head to head.
With it being an elimination match, I could see it coming down to those 2. And I think, for some reason, I think Sasha wins it. Mainly because they did the whole Shinsuke wins it in the 3-way against, who was it? It was Braun. And then it was Shinsuke's just before that, so it was kind of awkward. And I think the Fed often does things like that. So I think Sasha wins that match and is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Now, let's move on. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair, NXT Women's Championship.
I think, honestly, it's really cool and a fresh idea to bring NXT into the whole concept of which title that they can go for. I think that if they want to elevate Rhea into a spot on the main roster where she's seen in the top echelon of superstars, the best way to go about doing that is having her defeat Charlotte. I don't know where they'll go from there, but I think that's the direction where they're going to go. I think you're going to see Rhea Ripley retain her belt.
And as par for the course, I'm going with Charlotte Flair on this one. I feel she's going to win it and join the NXT brand. I think Ripley will go to Raw or SmackDown, and that's just how that'll play out. And third women's match of the night will be the Raw Championship. Becky Lynch defending the title against Shayna Baszler.
Just for the sake of giving an answer here, I'm gonna go with Becky. I don't know if I like the build-up for this particular match, but I don't see Shayna Baszler as being a main event player yet. Now that's not to say she's not gonna get there, but I think Becky's gonna come out on top on this one.
And I'm the opposite again. I think they're gonna have a great match. And I think this is just the beginning for Baszler to really just win the belt and probably kill everyone for a year like Asuka did. I think it's going to be a huge, huge thing, and probably bring up the other ladies with her. But it should be a really good match. This is one I'd love to see in front of people just because of the dynamic Lynch has with the crowd, and then Baszler, how she reacts to him and everything as well. I think it's going to be probably one of the best matches. And obviously, opposite pick of Nicky Martin again.
Told you, we're going to have a big bet when this is all over.
There's enough matches. We could definitely put one another in the poorhouse if we bet enough. John Cena versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt.
From a promoter's point of view, I think the best route to go would be for Cena to put The Fiend over. I think that would probably be what he would want to do, as in John Cena. If not, I don't really see a point in Cena going over, because I don't see Cena as a full-time player, right? I think he's going to go off back to Hollywood and do his own thing, and rightfully so. He's really successful with that. But I think Bray's going to go over on this one.
I'm going to go with The Fiend as well. Although if Cena was going to win and then maybe work towards facing one of the champions to win that all-time record maybe next year, I think that'd be kind of cool as well. But I'm going to go with The Fiend, and then let's move into another match. We got Edge versus Randy Orton. I think it's last man standing.
It might come as a surprise, but I think this match should main event Mania. And I hope it's on the second night. I hope it main events. This has been absolutely phenomenal from the entire build-up to me. You've got Orton, who has kind of cemented his way into everything. He's been known as the Legend Killer. He's taken on just about everybody that he could possibly take on to make himself a superstar. The story between Edge and Orton, whether it's from RKO, the whole, Randy turning on him and then clobbering him with chairs and then bringing in Beth Phoenix, like the whole thing has just been old school perfect for me. So I hope this match lasts for a long time. I hope that it continues. So I really hope that Randy comes out on top and it just keeps on going.
Man, I think it is a huge match, and it could definitely be the main event. I'm going with Edge in this one. I think his first match back, he's going to get that big win and some revenge for everything that treacherous Randy Orton's done to him so far.
Gotta love it, man. That match has me super excited.
Oh, 100%. Now, the two big matches, the two championships. First, the Universal title. Goldberg versus what was going to be Roman Reigns and is now Braun Strowman. Who you got?
You know what? I got to go with Braun. I think Braun has finally had his chance to grab the brass ring, albeit because of a circumstance that I understand, but I'm kind of disappointed with. Any match that Goldberg doesn't win is a good match as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry, I kind of come off as an asshole, but that's how it is. And then as far as the WWE title, I'm just trying to think right now because that's SmackDown.
We got Brock versus Drew McIntyre for
Brock. That's right.
For the WWE title, and it should be a really good one.
You know what? I just wish, for the sake of Drew, that there was people there for this one, because I think Drew is going to end up coming out on top with that. I think that Brock is really enjoying working with him. It's just kind of the little things. I don't know if you watched Raw a few weeks ago when there was people, and Drew clobbered him 3 times with the belt, and Brock did absolutely everything to kind of put Drew over as kind of a dangerous, kind of a sociopath kind of a person. And he even went so far as, if you listen to that particular part of the broadcast, he tells Drew to pick up the belt and pose. And I think they're just having some fun working together. And I haven't seen that a lot with Brock, where he's had fun doing what he's doing. He just kind of strikes me as a guy is kind of a mercenary. He does things for the money, but this looks to me like he's having some fun.
Awesome, man. You think Drew is going to win it then?
I think Drew's going to come out on top.
Nice. Now, I'm going with Braun as well. I think he'll get the win. And then I'm also going with Drew McIntyre, and same reason as you. I wish there's fans there to celebrate with them. I think they're going to have a really good match, and I don't care if it goes long or if it's short, as long as it's just physical like both these guys are. I think it'll be really good.
Well, you know what? Just to play devil's advocate here, I think if Goldberg's match is going to go really, really short, that I hope Brock has enough sense to say, hey, let's go for 20 or 25 minutes.
I think it'll be hard in front of nobody.
True, but you know what? I don't think that Goldberg has the oomph to go very long. So if you're going to have a main event, to me, it's got to be substantial. It may not go 20 or 25 minutes, maybe 15, but something longer than having to watch, a couple of German suplexes and then a pin, or, a spear and a jackhammer, which, Goldberg is infamous for. Yeah.
I think they'll both be on different nights as well. I don't think it'll be the same. I don't think they'll both be wrestling the same night.
You know what? That might actually be a blessing. Like I said, any match where I don't have to watch Goldberg for very long is a good match. So that's that. I mean, that's just me. I watched Goldberg from WCW up. I watched his 173-0 streak, and I hated it then, and I still hate it now. But that's just me.
Awesome, man. I mean, as long as you always feel that way and you give your opinion, that's fine. But no, thank you for doing this. I can't wait to see which one of us is going to come out on top on the wins. I'm going to post this online tonight so everyone can hear it on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, as well as the YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/365 Pro Wrestling, or just search 365 Pro Wrestling. I can't wait till we get back in the ring and we can start doing our things with our promotions with MCW, with 365. But anything you want to say just for this whole WrestleMania weekend before we call it a night?
All I want to say is enjoy it, and like you, I can't wait to come back to 365. I'm looking forward to checking out the Registry Theater. I know I haven't had the opportunity to go out and double check it. Everything in the pictures looks amazing. MCW, I can't wait to come back. We've got a new venue. When the shows are back up and running, that venue is all for us coming back. So it's going to be a new venue. It's going to be a fun night. And I can't wait, man.
Awesome. You have a great night, and we'll talk again on how about Monday right after WrestleMania.
That sounds good. I missed the podcast, man. Anytime, I'm all for it. And thanks for having me.
All right, man. Take care. Peace.
Have a good one.